All right, let's get right into it. I think we're going to breeze through these controls a little bit faster than we did the general and the navigation controls, which you can actually find a video for that in the description if you're interested. It's pretty lengthy, about 10 minutes, but there are timestamps where you can skip around if you're not into long videos. All right, but with that, let's get started. So select object, A, pretty easy. Magnifying glass, we're going to hold down A, and then you're going to rotate the left joystick. Bulldoze preview, you're going to hold down B, and you're going to rotate the left joystick. Essentially, to do cancel hold action, all you got to do is you just tap ZL. And you do that while you're holding down A or you're holding down B. But honestly, all you have to do here is just either let go of A or let go of B. That also does a cancel hold action. Not a big fan of the name. I really do feel like it's misleading. I see what they were going for, but I do feel like some terminology update there could be valuable. In my personal opinion, I would give the ZL cancel action a bigger purpose in the game. Allow it to be cancellation for more things. Otherwise, we don't really need it. We can just let go of these buttons when we're done. All right, so lastly, moving on to move staff or guest, that's going to be holding down the ZR button. You're going to hold that down. And after you hold that down, all you got to do is just move this left joystick. All right, so select object is the first control. This one is pretty simple. Pretty much anything that you want to select on the screen, you just press A and you can select it. We'll just get some clarity, I guess, in objects that you can and can't select. So if I walk up to this light post here, I can't select it. This landscape piece here, you can't select it. This tree here, you can't select it. You saw this earlier because I hovered over this fence line here, and so that's actually a quick hack tip there is if you want to access this park menu, that is another way. If you're near the fence, you could just go right to it and press A. But yeah, as far as like landscaping and items on the ground, you can't really do that. However, if you wanted to, like let's say click on a guest, you absolutely can. If you wanted to click on a stall, all that jazz. So the next thing I want to demo is the magnifying glass. So I'm going to zoom out here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and hold down this A button here, and then after about a second you can kind of see the magnifying glass invokes here. You can drag it over whatever, you can look at whatever. It's really nice, especially when the game's in motion. Like look at this, like it's cool. And then obviously also pause the game, hold down A, get your magnifying glass up, and then just like slowly scan stuff. You can do this all day. Look at all the different names. The different structures, tells you how many people are on the ride. That's pretty cool. This person's walking. Let's see, who do we got here? Elaine M is queuing for the hardwood. Let's see, I know there's a roller coaster. Yeah, it's climbing here. Look at that. Last little quick tidbit too. If you are zoomed in all the way, that is the same level of magnification as the magnifying glass. So is there a point in using it at that point? I think maybe if you're just after the aesthetic, go ahead. But if not, there's no point. All right, so the bulldoze preview, I believe, is going to be best demoed just by floating around the map here. So I'm going to go ahead and hold B. It takes about a second. Just like, remember when we held A for the magnifying glass? Same experience there. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to hover this until I see some red. There we go. And what that basically is telling us is these elements can be removed. Now, keep in mind, if you were to bulldoze this road here, it's also going to bulldoze that thing that also turned red, which is the light post. So basically anything highlighted red, which is sort of nice. You get a nice preview of what is going to be removed when you go ahead and let go. So let's just go ahead and let go. Boom. Here's an edge case. If I want to bulldoze a building, you're not able to. It doesn't turn red. And so you're going to notice that when you go over different structures you've already built, it's not going to do it. So really bulldoze preview is really going to shine when you're trying to remove like landscaping elements, when you're trying to remove pathways. I don't believe you can remove ground with it. You're going to need the landscaping and removal tool for that, which we'll cover later. All right, so let's go and demo the cancel hold action. I have a gripe with the way this is named, which I've already discussed in the overview, so I won't get into that right now, but I'm going to go ahead and demo it. So let's do one of our hold actions, which is either magnifying glass, which is holding A down, or holding B down, which is like a bulldoze action. So let's just try one. So I'm going to hold down B. We're going to go over this object here, and then to cancel the action, we just press ZL. Cancels the action. Same thing with A. Holding it down here. We're done magnifying. You could just let go of A, but if for some reason you wanted to just keep holding A, you could also just press ZL, and it will cancel that hold action. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to demo the pickup guest. we're just going to show how valuable this pickup thing can be, because there are scenarios in the game where people are going to be dispersed in large amounts, and essentially it's going to cause you need to pick up a lot of people pretty fast. If I were to break a road right here, just break this road, guests seem to find their way back pretty quickly. Same thing here. Let's go ahead and break a road right here in the middle. You can see how fast people kind of found their way back, right? Well, in the case of this here, this is sort of less likely because they're far enough away from pathways where it's going to become less and less likely that they're going to wander back home. And I'll demonstrate that now. So, right, some of them will, some of them won't. And it's going to become a problem, especially if you run into a scenario where obviously, I'm speaking from experience because this has definitely happened to me before. And especially if you're trying to hit objectives, this can be so time consuming. So anyway, I just wanted to sort of connect the pickup guest hot control combo to a real world scenario. I feel like this is definitely applicable. So let's go ahead and demonstrate the control now. Very first thing you're going to do is you're going to position over the guest that you want to pick up, ZR. That'll pick them up. You can see them dangling there. And then you can just drag them and drop them, whatever. And this is great again because you can do this while the game is paused. So super, super nice. I think that's just a big hot tip in general. If you can figure out more things to do while the game is paused, you're really going to stay on your objectives a lot better. All right, y'all, so let's move on to menus. This one should be pretty fast too. So select, pressing the A button. Again, I spoke earlier how this is pretty much just like clicking your mouse. Let's see, closing the window, B, pretty simple. There is a caveat. It does seem like sometimes I've noticed you actually have to be over the window for this to work. I don't know why. I haven't figured it out yet. For the most part, you can close any open windows by just pressing B. All right, and the snap pointer. If y'all have seen my general navigation video, you should know that I lumped this snap pointer really in-depth review of this and all of the UX woes that I discuss in a previous video. It's going to be in the description, and I do believe that this tool belongs in the general navigation section as well. Duplicate it over there just to add some clarity in the controls menu. All right, so moving on to scroll. Scroll up and down. You got to press up, press down, press right, press left on that right joystick. Moving the window. As it seems, hold down the ZR button. While you're holding that down, you're just going to rotate this left joystick. It's really smooth, really great way to save time. All right, so the first control we're going to demo is select. Select is sort of contextual. Select actually has a few different definitions. If you're in the context of trying to pick someone up, that could be like a select action. And so when you're in here, select is basically just going to be A. This one's sort of straightforward and explanatory. I feel like explaining it is almost more confusing. All right, so a great example of closed window is, let's say we open up a shop here. We got this window open. We could go over here and click the X if we're, in the middle of something, like in one of these tabs. We can go over here and just click this X, or we could just save the time and press B. As far as the snap pointer is concerned, that's this control set here, this D-pad. I'm not going to cover it in this video. Please see in the description my most detailed review of it and my UX gripes with it. But just know that you basically use it when you're within a menu. All right, y'all, so let's demonstrate scroll. So I'm going to go up to the park menu by pressing X. All right, and then we're actually going to look at the customer's thoughts. So press A there. Now, what's nice is I can actually use the snap pad all the way down till I get to the tab, but unfortunately you can't actually traverse into the list. Like I just mentioned a minute ago, I have a whole video on my snap pointer woes. This is another one. I should be able to go down to each of these lists, each of the items in this list with the pointer. I should not have to use this scroll, but basically that's what we have to do. If we wanted to scroll this menu, we can't press down on the snap pad. We'd have to actually move this left cursor over the menu here, and then we can start scrolling with R. So that's how you scroll, and there's a little bit of my gripes too about sort of where the snap pointer could be utilized so much more. All right, so the last one here that we're going to demo is move window. Let's go over here to get a nicer view of this fry shop. What a great display here. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up the fry shop with A, and then now if I want to move this window, I don't have to do anything else now. All I have to do is just hold ZR, and then I can just move the left joystick, and that's going to move the window for us, which is so nice. Saves so much time because the cumbersome alternative is going to be actually scrolling up to the top here, getting your pointer on here, and then holding down the A button. That's the only other way to do it that I know of. And it's just, it works, but it's a little bit more cumbersome. And when you're already trying to do like a million actions in this game, every little time saving that you can do is just like so valuable. I really hope that you found this useful. Hope the demonstration style is valuable. I really like getting down into the nitty-gritty details of things and just documenting it. And I do think that the Graphite team did a great job for what they've done so far with the game. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.